So I'm going to be honest, I've been really trying to classify the different videos I'm doing into segments lately, and I don't know whether to classify the one I'm about to do into good news or stupid news, because I love it. I think it's hilarious, but it is like a really stupid story, and I just want to prepare you guys for the fact that I'm probably going to classify this as good news because I'm going to frame it in terms of like there being a happy ending to all this. But honestly, this started with a really stupid story. But before we get into that, listen. So when I first saw Trump leave Walter Reed, I had a gut instinct that he wanted to do something outlandish. Now, my intuition is pretty good. I have spent years developing my intuition. I've done all sorts of shamanic things in order to develop my intuition. But one of the things I struggle with is really knowing, like, being able to consciously put a pin on something when I have an intuition about it. Like, I'll get a gut feeling about something. And our gut feelings come from somewhere. Our gut feelings are just our subconscious putting together a boat ton of information, like a best supercomputer in the world. But it all happens outside of our conscious awareness. And then our brain delivers us an answer, boom, and it just doesn't tell us how it got there. So our gut instincts, they do mean something. Now, when I saw Trump leaving Walter Reed, my gut instinct was he wants to do something to show that he's really all better and that he's this big, powerful person. And I really thought he was going to try to slide down the railing. I did. I remember when I saw Trump leave and he kind of put his hand on the railing, the first thing in my head was like, Trump wants to slide down the railing, or like he wants to do a cartwheel. He wants to do something to show that he is back and better than ever. And so when I saw this story in The Hill, Trump wanted to rip open his shirt to show Superman t-shirt when leaving Walter Reed. I was not remotely surprised at all because that's like such a Trump thing to do. Trump totally wants to troll the media anytime he can. He gets off on this. And so I was not at all surprised to hear that it was a possibility. Now, I'm not sure I 100% believe this story, and we're going to talk about that, but I wouldn't actually be surprised if this was completely true. That Trump wanted to like rip open his shirt and have the Superman logo. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I don't really think it's true. That's kind of why I'm putting it in like the stupid news category, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if it were true. So we're going to read this story and I'm going to talk about why I think it's bunk. But before we get into that, listen guys, I'm trying to meet my goal of getting 100,000 subscribers on this channel by election day. I'm absolutely on track to do it, but I need your help. If you enjoy the content I'm putting out, or maybe even if you're just hate watching me, who the hell knows, I would appreciate it if you would hit that little red subscribe button that's down there somewhere, turn on those notifications, leave a comment, no matter what, if you love me or hate me, whatever, let me know how I'm doing to feed that algorithm, share it out to your friends if you enjoy it. I really appreciate it, and I'm optimistic that I'm going to meet this goal, and then I can get my little plaque, and I can retire. And that'll be that. No, I'm probably not going to retire. That's probably a joke, but I could. And that's the point. All right, let's read what The Hill says about Trump pretending he's Superman. President Trump considered staging his own Clark Kent moment as he exited last week from Walter Reed National Military Medical Center by ripping open a button-down shirt to reveal a Superman t-shirt underneath, according to the New York Times. And believe me, like, it's the according to the New York Times piece that gives me pause. Now, don't get me wrong. The Hill sucks now. The Hill is like such a partisan rag, but, you know, I keep an eye on what they're publishing just because it's a good variety of stuff. The New York Times, though, they're absolutely filled with liars. And so if this story is coming from the New York Times, and it is, I got the story pulled up right here. Let's just scroll down to what they had to say. In several phone calls last week from the presidential suite at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, Mr. Trump shared an idea he was considering. When he left the hospital, he wanted to appear frail at first when people saw him, according to people with knowledge of the conversations. But underneath his button-down dress shirt, he would wear a Superman t-shirt, which would reveal as a symbol of strength when he ripped open the top layer. He ultimately did not go ahead with this stunt. Now, I think the New York Times is full of it. As much as I want to believe this story, as much as I want to believe that this is true, I think the New York Times is absolutely full of it. One, they're not naming any sources. Two, I am pretty sure that Trump has like a bulletproof vest on under her. Like, I mean, look at this. Trump's got a bulletproof vest on. Trump wasn't going to have any sort of fucking Superman t-shirt on. He was going to have a bulletproof vest. Three, I think he's lying because I firmly believe that Donald Trump would never purposefully make himself look frail, not even to troll the media. This is looking frail is completely antithetical to Trump's entire psychological profile. Trump's big thing is he needs to be in charge, he needs to be the leader. And yeah, I get that it would just be for a few moments as a joke, but I really don't think it would ever cross Donald Trump's mind to say, even for a second, I'm going to be frail, because he knows what's going to happen. He knows what's going to happen. He knows that immediately the media is going to take those few moments of him being frail, and that's all they're going to play ad nauseum forever. I mean, listen, folks, like we all know, well, most of you on this channel probably know what happened with the Very Fine People hoax, in which the media relentlessly have played this clip from after Charlottesville where Trump said there are very fine people at both sides. And the only thing they play is that one clip. And what they leave out is that immediately after that clip, Trump condemned white supremacy blatantly. Dude, if you don't believe me, go Google the video, watch the whole thing, not just that little clip, the whole thing, and you're going to see exactly what Trump said, and you're going to see how much the media is lying to you about it. But I'm sure that Trump knew in this exact same way that the media would do the same thing. If he came out and he looked frail and weak for a minute before ripping his shirt open for have a Superman logo, like, Trump is going to know that the media is going to take that frail clip and just play it on loop ad nauseum forever. So I don't actually believe this is true, but man, it would have been pretty great if it was. But you know what? Listen, in his own way, Trump is acting a little bit like Superman. Now, I pontificated on this channel last week that wouldn't it be amazing if Trump's blood was used to develop the vaccine or the cure for COVID? And dude, look at this from the Epoch Times. Trump says he will donate own plasma, is no longer on medication for COVID. President Donald Trump said that he has stopped taking medication for the CCP virus, which is what the Epoch Times calls it, the Chinese Communist Party virus, and will donate his own blood plasma if needed. Trump. It's needed, Trump. You know you need to do this, Trump, for all of our sakes. It would be the most epic troll of all time. The vaccine is developed from Trump's blood. Can you imagine the explosions that are going to happen all across the media? It would be glorious. It is exactly what we need. It would make 2020 entirely worth it if this were to happen. The president made the remarks in an interview with Fox News aired late Friday, marking his first on-camera appearance since being diagnosed with COVID-19. Right now, I'm medication-free, the president told Fox News medical contributor. I'm not taking any medications as of, probably 8 hours ago, which frankly makes me feel good. I don't like medication. When asked whether he would donate his own plasma, Trump said, well, I will. No one's asked me that question, actually, but I will. If they wanted me to do it, I would love to do it. Someone needs to ask Trump. Dude, we all need this gift, okay? Someone has got to ask Trump to do this. This would be the most fantastic thing that's ever happened. I think it would be fabulous. But ultimately, I think I'm going to classify this as stupid news. Because, listen, here's the thing. I've got 3 stories from 3 major media outlets here that are a big effing nothing burger. And this is the thing that pisses me off about the media. And listen, I'm gonna lump conservative media into this as well. We've got The Hill, we got the New York Times, and we got the Epoch Times that all have nonsense stories. Listen, Trump, this is not really a story. If no one's asked Trump to donate his plasma and there's only a quote saying, well, maybe I'll do it if someone asks me, that's not really news, dude. And it's not news that maybe Trump was going to rip open his shirt and have a Superman costume, except there's no really verifiable sources to corroborate that. And the only thing we have is, what did the New York Times say? What did they say? It's also down at the bottom of the article, which just shows you they're just throwing it in there just for controversy. They said, according to people with knowledge of the conversations. BS, New York Times, liars. Now, as much as I want this to be true, I'm going to call BS on this story. And sadly, I gotta put it in stupid news for right now because, can you think of, at this time, when there is a presidential election, we are less than 1 month out from voting for the next president. And this is what they want to talk about? Trump wearing a Superman t-shirt? Okay, dude, you need to get a flipping life. That's all I've got for right now. I'll see you guys soon.